Hello, I'm Brendan.
And I'm James.
Welcome to this week's web chat, which is about password security. This week, one of our clients had their Office 365 account compromised. How did that happen, James?
Yep, so very scary stuff. It was a very directed, very specific attack. So it wasn't like an automated bot attack or a denial of service attack. It wasn't what we would call a script kiddie, like some teenager in his basement. It was a very serious attempted fraud. What happened was 2 email accounts were compromised at our client's Office 365 installation. The attackers went in, logged in, searched the sent items for a supplier invoice that was forwarded onto accounts payable, got the PDF, modified the bank details and the amount, sent and then forwarded the invoice to the modified invoice to accounts payable, saying, "Can you please chase up and pay this invoice? The supplier is getting antsy." The accounts payable person looked at it. It came from within the organization, so it wasn't an external email, and it was literally a reply or a forward of a previous chain. So very, very, very scary and very real.
So what are the likely ways that these people got access to their 365 account?
Yep, so we don't know, but we've narrowed it down to probably 2 likely scenarios. What we do know is that there wasn't a whole heap of incorrect password attempts, and they knew exactly the username and exactly the password. So it wasn't what we call a brute force attempt, which is where you just guess. They had to have known the password, which would have happened probably one of 2 ways. The first being what we call a phishing attack. So these 2 people would have got an email purporting to be from Microsoft saying your account's over its limit, or it's going to expire, or please change your password, or whatever. And they've gone on, they think they've clicked through the Microsoft, they've put in their username and password, and it's literally emailed the attacker, here's a genuine account 365, Office 365 account. The second mechanism is that they've used that same password on a third-party website that has been hacked.
As in one of the users, the official users?
Yes, so the two users have gone on to, say, LinkedIn, created their LinkedIn profiles using the same email and password as their internal Office 365 credentials. LinkedIn was hacked some time ago, but it could be any website. It could be
eBay or whatever.
Mm-hmm. The third-party website's been hacked. Those accounts that they're sold on the black market, so you can go and buy 20,000 email and passwords from LinkedIn, and then someone's gone, well, if that was their LinkedIn password, we'll try that on their Office 365. Yes, it's the same. Happy days we're in. So very, very scary stuff.
So I guess the answer to this is making sure your organisation has good password security. So one method would be to make sure that every website and everything you log into you use a different password for. But there's some excellent tools out there that can help your office automate this or make it a lot easier to manage all the passwords you have to come up with every day just to work.
Yep.
So some of the examples that you should have a look at are things like LastPass, which is a password management system, and there's another one called 1Password, and there's probably any number of them out there. If you can find one of them to manage your passwords, you'll be a lot more secure when you're using the different applications you have. So James, how does something like LastPass help you manage your passwords?
Yeah, so used properly, the theory behind LastPass is every time you go to a website, whether it be your NAB internet banking or your Telstra Big Pond email or whatever it is, you go in the LastPass extension in your browser, you can click a box and it will generate a random password. I recommend 20 to 30 characters long. The longer the better. Make sure you've got capitals, numbers, and those funny characters like question mark, exclamation. In LastPass, you can specify that those are all the things you want. It generates a random password unique to that particular login. And then every time you visit that website subsequently, if you go to NAB to log into your internet banking, you put in your username as per normal, but instead of putting in your password, you just click on the LastPass extension, and it will populate it with that particular website's random password. So the good thing there is if, say, heaven forbid Facebook got hacked tomorrow, and someone knew your Facebook password, they wouldn't. That's fine. They could get into Facebook, but they couldn't get into your NAB. They couldn't get into your Office 365. It's a little bit painful the first week that you use it, but once you get in the habit, it's actually really handy because you never have to remember a password again.
Yeah, you can actually even just log into your LastPass account, find the website you'd like to open, and launch it through LastPass. And one of the great things that you can also do is if it's a program or a piece of software that everybody in the office needs access to, you can actually share some passwords with other users in your office. They don't actually doesn't know the password, but as long as they're logged in with their own LastPass and it's been shared with them, you can share that with everybody in the office without everybody in the office having to remember the password and maybe have it compromised that way.
Yep, absolutely. And again, on the other side of it, the phishing, all I can stress to people is you just got to go to your team and re-educate them regularly. Do not trust anything that comes on email, even if it looks legit. If it's come from the bank or it's come from Telstra, it's come from Australia Post, never trust it. Even no matter how good it looks, never trust it.
Okay, so there's our advice on password security. So if you are using the same password for everything in your office, make sure you get a password management system and don't get hacked.